Whatevs. Whatevs, people. Whatevs. I just literally turned on the TikTok, the camera here, and I realized how the lighting, I look like I'm in the shade. You know why? Because I'm in the shade. But who needs to see my face? You don't need to see my face. I don't need to see my face. What you need to do is, if you care to listen to what I have to say and get inspired by it to take action. Oh, so easy. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Hey, I see Allison and Katie and Becky and Sylvia and Gems from the Heart Shop and Yee and Carol. So it says more likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm keeping it up. Yeah, so good afternoon. It is technically afternoon where I am, and that is on the East Coast. Now I always joke because I am a coastal person, yet I live in a landlocked state, but I consider us kind of, I just can, New Jersey is small enough that I can look over it and just see the beach, or I can just head south and go to Delaware. I seriously think, and I can probably check this out, that we probably live closer to the shore or the beach than some people actually do in parts of New England. So there we go. Mama Chef 86 says, I was just watching your YouTube recordings. Glad to see you live. I'm glad to see I'm live too, but thank you for letting me know that me posting the recordings of my TikTok lives to YouTube is beneficial and that you're using them. That wasn't my idea. This was a really cool thing. This was something that somebody last spring maybe suggested here on a TikTok live. When I had just started to do my TikTok live, somebody says, hey, do you ever record these? Now, my brain was like, I know, but sure, if you want it, I'm here to help you. So if that makes it helpful for you, which it seems like it does, then yay. Yay. And K-Drama Queen, hi, I love listening and watching too. Awesome. Speaking of listening to me, this is not going to be, like, I tend to go into just not infomercials, but info. More info, less commercial. Not like Ron Popeil, but I am going to. Notice, here's an interesting thing. I coached myself within a microsecond there because you heard the pause. My mouth and my safety zone was going to say, I'm thinking of doing a podcast. But I know I've been thinking about it a lot, and so I changed my words. So I scrapped that, I paused, and I'm going to be creating a podcast. I am. Because what I realize is there are some topics that people ask about all the time that a minute 30-second video here on TikTok will not cut it. Just a passing kind of touch on it is just kind of, as I like to say, kind of like floating around in the shallow end. Now, it's good to know about these things, but in order to really kind of see the context and really know what's going on and maybe why you're cluttered, is able to kind of just go deeper, kind of wade out into the deep end of the pool, get comfortable there. So that's what I'm going to do. I like to be here on the lives helping people as much as I can. But when there's 50 or 100 or 150 people on this, it's like being in a big group of people. I can only kind of hit, the things. When it's a one-on-one, that's why I do my coaching one-on-one. I don't do group yet. I don't know if I will ever do group coaching, because getting deeper into it and figuring out, like, why have I gotten this far in my life and I can't still crack this nut? Going a little bit deeper may provide some insight for you, and when you understand that, you can take action. Okay. Now, I love this. So, K-Drama Queen, and one of the reasons I will share with you who are watching this live on TikTok, and I always jump in right away, but I always want to remind myself to introduce myself to the folks who maybe don't know me. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered here on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and my website, destinationdecluttered.com, which is where you can learn more about my one-on-one paid coaching, and also you can sign up for my free mailing list. See, I tried to keep that really like tight and succinct because that's like the info kind of commercial, but I want to get back to you. So K-Drama Queen, one of the reasons, everybody, that I reread the comments as they scroll in front of me. Oh, and thank you, Lynn. I believe you just followed me. Cool. I do that for the people who watch or just listen to these while you're maybe decluttering. So K-Drama Queen is saying, of which I am a K-drama fan. I have watched a number of them. I feel like I stay on track while I'm watching and listening to you. You are so inspiring. Well, thank you. I will say this. I may be inspiring, but I am just a regular person in the world. I know stuff now that I didn't know before, and that's why I show up to be like, not to show off how awesome my life is, because you would get annoyed at how awesome my life is. I don't want to. I don't want to. No, I don't want to share. I would share, but I don't want to show off how much fun I have, how much I get done, the friends I have, the adventures I take, how my house looks, all the good stuff. I do this. I come out here to my little patio and share it with you, so you can learn from me. Do the things I did. It will help your life too. So that's why I do this type of thing. Okay. So K-drama queen, here's the thing. When I look around, I see my clitter. I hear your bad habits. No, 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 no. This is what I'll do. Notice how the words we use start up here, make us feel a feeling. And when we feel a feeling, we do a thing. How about this? Cross out the bad and just be curious. Take out the judgment, your bad habits. No, your habits. Your habits. Not bad, not good, worse, better, more helpful, unhelpful. Don't be so judgy on yourself. You, me, all of us. I'm judging myself all over the place about my age, my body, the fact that I probably have like a hair growing out of this mold that I didn't even know was growing there until I saw it, and then it's next to an age spot. We are all right. All right? We're all right, as my husband and Cheap Trick would say. So just notice your habits. Your habits. You have habits that get you to where you want to go. Maybe brushing your teeth is a habit that you have so you don't have to go to the dentist as often. Maybe you have a habit that gets you more cluttered, which is when I get dressed, I'm in the habit of dumping my clothes on the floor. Okay? So I show up as your coach right away. All right? Because it can be something as simple as crossing out a word and it makes you feel better. I look around and I notice my bad habits. Bad habits makes me feel bad, and I tend to be like, oh, this sucks, I'm going to crawl back into bed. Cross out the bad, don't be judgy, be curious. I notice my habits. I'm noticing my habits. And I notice that I have a habit of, going to bed with my makeup still on. I totally have gotten into that habit lately. And then I wake up in the morning, and sometimes I've done TikTok videos. If you look closely, you'll see like the raccoon eyes. It's a habit. You can change a habit, but it's so much harder to change it when you're too busy judging yourself and beating yourself up, okay? So just don't do it, okay? I love it. Christine, nice to see you. Okay, awesome. Yes, I look forward to seeing you too. And I love the fact that my California, wish they all could be California girls. I love it that when I show up later for me, it helps folks that are maybe on the West Coast show up too. As I said, I tend to be an East Coast early bird, but when folks say to me, hey, it's kind of early here on the West Coast, maybe you could do a few TikTok lives or schedule some consultations a little bit later in the day, I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And I did that. So here I am for you, and I am really looking forward to, here's the thing we do. So I'm not going to give away any, personal information, but when I meet with my coaching clients, this is a system we use. This is a process I have, but it's a cool one. It's a framework. It's a way, it's an order of operations. It's a roadmap. It's a roadmap of doing certain things. And one of the things I want to share with you is, of course, we are going to go in deep and see where you got stuck. If you didn't get stuck, you wouldn't need a coach. You would just do the things. But before we do that, I want you to feel better and get yourself even in a neurological state where you feel better. So we celebrate the wins. What did you do between last week and this week to get yourself decluttered? Now, if you use a notebook and a little, book, you wrote it down so you can just tell me. So I'm telling this to you even if you're not my client. Start the day congratulating yourself on the stuff that you did, no matter how small, because it all matters. Then get curious about the stuff you didn't get done. And don't judge yourself, but say, why didn't I do that? Me, I forgot. I wrote down 2 days ago I was supposed to schedule our credit card payment for the credit card that has all this travel on it. So I was really going to be, mindful of that. And then I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, crap, it's due today. All right, I had forgotten, even though I wrote it down. No big deal. I went in, logged on, Made sure we had the money in the bank. We had the money in the bank. Schedule the payment. Done. So don't beat yourself up, okay? Do not beat yourself up. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate the moments of your life. Have fun with it. Burst into song like I do. Turn your hot cup of tea into iced tea because it's that time of the season. I have a cup here and I said, you know what? I'm just going to pour some ice cubes into my tepid tea. All right, if you'd stop saying habits and focus on actions, it's easier to explain it that way. Yeah, but you got to notice your habits before you can change them. Your habit is an action. You change your action. Okay? Yeah. Actions, it becomes mathematically calculable. Now, I love brisket. I hope you love brisket too. Those words may work for you. But when something is mathematically calculable, I have to define that in my head before I know what it is. To me, I like to keep things simple. So I notice my habits, and the habits I have that don't get me where I want, I change what I do. I take a different action. I pick up. I take a verb. Like, see, this is funny. You say mathematically calculable. I can't even pronounce it. My brain immediately goes to Schoolhouse Rock in the 70s because I am a Gen Xer, and I want to say, when you think of action, I want you to think of verb. That's what's happening. So instead of dropping your clothes on the floor, maybe you pick up your clothes. Okay? Yeah. Everybody's got a way that resonates with them. I speak in a language that is easy to understand and fun to me. I talk about it in a road trip metaphor all the time. I do this, I will share this with you, is because when I was trying to get my own poop in a scoop, as Jen Sincero would say, and I totally mention her by name because her book is the first one I found that actually was written in a way that I felt relatable. I was laughing at her things, I was commiserating with her. When she was saying I wasn't until my 40s till I got my act together, I was like, oh, you mean there's hope for me too? And she told stories, and she was funny, and she was irreverent. I like that approach. There are many books out there that are very regimented and business speak, and those ones, they are an effort for me to read and translate in my brain. So I sing songs, I tell stories, I use a road trip metaphor, I will give a pop culture thing when it will do. Do what works for you, okay? Do what works for you. Yes. Now, Yee is saying 2 boxes to the thrift store today. I love it. 2, 2, 2. All right, notice that, 2, 2, and 2. Actually, it was wicked funny. We were hanging out with some friends Thursday night. We've had such a fun week. We always have a fun week. And a friend of ours said, oh yeah, I'll be there in 2 minutes, 2 and 2. And we were both like, oh, like Chuck Woolery on what was it, Love Connection? When he went for a commercial break, we'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, 2 and 2. So you did 2 boxes to the thrift store 2 days. So you got 2, 2, and 2. Those are the numbers I like. I also say 3 is a magic number because it's a magic number. But I show up to help, not to deride, not to just have fun. So I show up and I ask you, in any way that you can articulate it that resonates with you, where are you stuck clutter-wise? Okay? How can I help you with what I know? Because boy, do I know a lot of stuff to get you decluttered. I grew up cluttered. My mother's still cluttered. My dad has passed away. My family is a family of collectors. I am not kidding when I think one of my uncles told me that not his dad, but my great-grandfather was like a junk man back in the day because we didn't grow up with money. So he went and collected stuff. So is it any big surprise that I come from a long line of people who tend to collect and hang on to things? That feels good up to a certain point. But after a certain point, it doesn't start to feel so good. I just said the word fart. I'm cracking up. It doesn't feel so good. So the great thing is when you have too much and it doesn't feel good, you can slowly whittle it down. And I'm going to use the habit word again. And you can notice the habits that got you cluttered and change them so you don't reclutter again. Okay? So notice these things. Okay? Notice these things. And noticing is an action. You'll look in your house. Today when I say to you, look and see what's on your kitchen counter to the left of the sink, you're going to look there and you're going to maybe notice things that otherwise you might have been blind to, because the brain does that. Your brain, it tends to want to survive by kind of caching, like the cache or It's not cache, but the cache in your thing. It remembers the things that it sees all the time. It just takes a quick picture, but it doesn't really look deeply. That is to leave you brain energy to focus on things, other things. But sometimes you get stuff blindness. That's what I call it. There we go. Okay, Mary McCrary. I love your name because I'm from Boston and I said it with an Irish accent. Mary McCrary, nice to see you. First timer here. Welcome. Jump in, the pool is fine. First time here, I really need help getting rid of stuff. Okay, and Christine, how awesome. Mary, Christine's welcoming you. Came to the right place. Okay, your counter is a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Well, let's cool down that counter, shall we? Okay, there we go. I will say this. Kia is saying, thanks to you, thanks to me, little me, I have a calm, clean bedroom and walk-in closet, and I pick it up every morning. Okay, so Mary, couple of things since you're new here I want to help you with. First of all, hey, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I live outside of Philadelphia, PA, but I was born in New England. And so I'm out here on my patio and I do these TikTok lives. I also do one-on-one coaching and I have a free mailing list you can get onto. So there's me. You're saying you have a hot mess on your counter. Couple of things that I want to share with you and to everybody who's here that can help you is think about your clutter in 3 categories, 3 layers of clutter. Think about the surface, which would be a counter. It's like a, surface. Think about stored clutter is the second one. And the third one is sentimental. So counters are a surface with stuff on it. Now this is interesting to me because a surface clutter usually is about how your house looks. So taking a look at your counter, the stuff on your counter is typically, now I'm not in your house, nor do I ever come to your house, I coach on Zoom. Typically the stuff on my counter is stuff that I haven't put away yet. I don't say when I said I was going to do it, but I haven't put it away yet. Putting it away goes to stored, to be like, I have this thing, it doesn't live here on the counter, like, like the little canister set I have with my tea bags in it and stuff. It doesn't live here, it lives somewhere else. Its home is somewhere else. I haven't put it away yet. Now, maybe I haven't put it away because A, it doesn't have a home because it's something new I brought in, or B, it's because when I go to put it away, there's so much stuff there that there's no room for it. Okay, so notice those 3 layers. The other thing too is, the number one thing people come to, and when you say it's a hot mess, it's not like, oh, it's a tepid mess, it's a cool mess. It's a hot mess tends to be a dramatic word, and when I hear drama, I think overwhelm. And the reason I think overwhelm, it's because overwhelm tends to be a feeling that gets you stuck and not knowing what to do. I want to help you with that. I want you to think of the word over. It has the word overwhelm. Oh, it has over in it, like this umbrella above me. And it's big. It's covering a lot of stuff. But when you look at things too big, it can be a bit much. I want you to think of the word down. I like to use the word opposite, the flip side. On the one hand, on the other hand. Overwhelm is too big and over your head. I want you to think of small and chunking it down. Calming it down. Calming down your nervous system. Quieting down the voice inside your head. Breathing down into your lungs. This is funny. I just realized the mug I was drinking out of this morning that now I turned into iced tea. Slow down, breathe down, write down, chunk down. I like to call it all the downs. So everybody, before you even start something, make sure you're in the good, right mindset and body set to get stuff done. And if you're not, do something to get yourself ready to feel prepared to do it. Yeah, Barefoot Eclectic saying I got too much on my counter. Yeah, too much. Think about this. You know why I said surface, stored, and sentimental? 3 things. They all begin with S. I also want you to think of this. Like this is how I coach, and I truly believe it. When we don't have a lot of stuff when we're growing up, or our family didn't, we may collect up more things because we're not used to having it. So having anything is novel. So you tend to build it up. You go from nothing to something. And you may not notice this until it gets to be too much, but at a certain point between not enough and too much, there is a kind of a just right point. When I describe this, I tend to use my body as a gauge because like I can feel if I don't have enough, I feel like hungry in my stomach, so I will eat the food. Then there's an amount that's just right. I tend to bypass that. I will eat more of the good stuff because I've been told to clean my plate. I will buy more things for fear I might need it again. I bypass the just right, and then so sometimes I see the evidence of too much. The evidence of too much is when you feel like you're drowning and you can't breathe and you're in over your head. Notice how you can think about this using your body. The wonderful thing is when you notice there's too much, you can start to decrease the too much, but you do, please, I'm reassuring your nervous system, your scared little kid in the back seat. We're not going to go to nothing. We're just going to go down and we're going to decrease the amount of stuff in your home in a way that feels easy to you and doable at a pace that feels right, that you decide what you keep and you decide what you give away, to get you to a place that feels better, that it isn't too much, feels just right. Think about, this is how instead of measurably incalculable or whatever it was, and trust me, I'm not joking, I'm just using it as an example. Think about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There was porridge on the table. One person, it was all the same pot of porridge. Somebody thought it was too hot, somebody thought it was too cold, and the other person thought it was just right. So the level of feel good is going to be based on you. And that's why I'm a life coach too, because I encourage you to think of what's going to work for you. So notice too much. Just look at the stuff that's too much and then chunk it down, categorize it, put it into piles of different things. There's the mail, there's the dirty dishes, there's the stuff that's still on the counter from when we unpacked the car yesterday when we came back from our trip. When you chunk it down, you don't have so much. Then you can deal with a category at a time. Yeah. So I know I'm talking, it's so funny. Christine just was talking about breathing down and slowing down. I tend to get excited about this, and I also come from New England where we talk wicked fast. So, yes, calming down and slowing down and breathing down. The sun has actually gone down. This feels nice, you know? So you can do things. Yeah. Jenny, if you want to get a dumpster, but I will tell you, because I've been there and I've seen the evidence. We all think that if I just got rid of this, I'd be all set. One and done. No. It's kind of like you wish if you lost 10 pounds, then it would just stay off for forever, or maybe 20, 15, whatever. You do you. It's changing your habits. It's noticing what got you cluttered and changing that. As you're decreasing the amount of stuff in your home, you're also switching up what you do. Because if you don't, if you only focus on, like pretend, see this thing behind me? I call it the Trilon. It's like a little thing. But pretend that's a big pile of clutter. If all we did was knock it down, but we didn't change how we thought about our clutter, if you didn't think of how you thought about it, how you felt about it, and what you did, what you would do is you would do whatever it took. I'm just going to put it all in a dumpster. But if you don't change what's in here, you're going to start to accumulate stuff again, and it could be even worse. You might just declutter more, okay? Now, there is a point for a dumpster. If it's not your stuff, if the stuff is junky, if it is moldy and gross, dumpsterize it, sure. But notice that there is a human component that resides within you that got you cluttered in the first place. And if you don't change that, I'm like, oh, my neighbor's walking by with his dog. If you don't work on this part, if you don't get curious about this, you're just gonna lather, rinse, repeat. Okay. Yep. Sin is saying I'm a caregiver. Have to do stuff for other people. Totally get it. Be a caregiver to yourself. Don't just take care of other people. Take care of yourself, and not only will you feel better, you'll be able to take care of other people better. There is no nobility in running yourself into the ground to help other people. No, that's not how I coach. I coach you to say, take care of yourself first, and not just either or. It's like and, but, and, or, conjunction, junction. It's not I can take care of me or I can take care of you. It's when I take care of you and I can take care of you. Okay. Yep. Okay, yeah, and Jenny is saying, I feel this was my mom and my aunt who definitely didn't have a lot, and now my aunt is borderline hoard. Yes, because, and especially you guys, I don't know how old you are, but if you're here on TikTok, you're probably not one of those stodgy old people who doesn't want to change. You're adapting to new things, adapting and adopting new things. Some of the older generations are very resistant to introspection and change. Looking inside and saying, this is why I am where I am. They're like, this is just how it is. Very like fixed mindset, as we say in the biz. The reason you're here is because of stuff that happened maybe even before you were born. But it has to do with how you were raised, how you were taught, what people, I mean, it's fascinating to me The messages you get from people about spending money and not spending money, and that's too much, and clean your plate. Don't buy that, but buy this, and ooh, it's on sale. So many things. When you start to notice that and you say, ooh, I could change that, that's going to break the cycle. Okay? That's going to break the cycle. Yeah. Shauna is saying, I've been doing some decluttering using your advice. Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm so glad. I have donated 8 trash bags full of clothes. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Kia, no. Conjunction junction, what's your function? It's to picking up words and making them function. And, but, and, or. Do the and. Not this or that, and, but. How about and? I like and. Okay. All right, Cindy is in a panic. Cindy, deal with the panic first. Notice that your clutter is affecting your body, your nervous system, your mood, your mental health. Because when you're in a panic, it doesn't just affect, it affects your breathing, it affects your, so many things. So let's deal with the panic first. First of all, lovingly, calm the F down. Calm down. It's going to be okay. It is. Because you know what? You've got a friend from California. You don't have an enemy from California coming to visit you. You have a friend. Your friends love you regardless of your clutter. If they don't, they're not good friends. So don't have good friends. But keep the old. One is silver, the other is gold. What was that? I think that was Girl Scouts. Okay. Coming with me for a few months in September, so much to clutter to fix. Awesome. Cindy, perfect timing. You know? A lot of things. I can help you with this. It's only the beginning of, it's only the end of June. We've got June, we've got July. Excuse me, we've got July, we got August, and beginning of September. Trust me, this is not being me trying to slide in and be like, let me be your coach. But I coach people. The only way I coach people is in a 10-session package. So in 10 sessions, I know you can get so much done. Now, some people work at the pace that feels good to them, so then they sign up for another 10 and another 10 and another 10, because you can't undo, even if you want to change in 10 weeks. I can only lose so much weight in 10 weeks. Moving at a pace that feels right to you. So start now. Start now. I've got a ton of TikTok lives you can listen to. There's videos here. You can sign up for the mailing list. This Sunday, people, if you're on the mailing list, you know that we're doing a thing that, again, wasn't my idea. It was an idea of somebody here on TikTok. We're doing a paper party. Sunday afternoon, we're all going to get together on Zoom. I'll give you some instructions. You're going to be there with your pile of paper, and then you're going to sort, and then you're going to do things, and then by the next hour, you're going to say, look it, I made a difference. I can do this, and now I have a process. I teach that for free for the people on my mailing list. So on Sunday, if you want to do that, Sunday, destinationdecluttered.com/join, sign up for the mailing list, and you'll be invited. Okay? So, there we go. Now, I realized I've been talking a lot. I love it. Becky's got it on the calendar. I would like to be on the mailing list, says Little Black Dog. Awesome. Go to destinationdecluttered.com. There's a form at the end. I say form. It's literally all you need to do is put your email address in it on the join page, and boom, you're done. Okay? I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm just going to scroll back because I realize when I talk, see, this is the thing about talking with a large group of people. I seriously want to answer all your questions. Unless you're just being snarky and you're a troll, and then I just ignore you. But that rarely happens here. It's so good. Okay, so I am just going to make sure that I didn't skip over anything inadvertently. Don't take it personally, but these things are not just surface. It's not just like getting a clear container to put your Cheerios in. Clutter is deeper than that, but it's worth getting into. Okay, so what do we got? Okay, somebody's got my stuff. That's good. You can't get over all of it. If you can't do all of it, do some of it. Some is better than none. Okay, yep, okay. Cam28, you bring up a really good point. Trouble's throwing stuff away. Now notice the way I'm going to describe this. I'll read it. Don't want stuff going to landfills, stuck finding environment-friendly homes. Now, I am with you, my dear. I recycle as much as I can. I rehome things at good homes, but at a certain point, if you want your home to not become a landfill itself, finding the homes and getting comfortable with the fact that some things will go in a landfill. But let me put this into context, okay? This may sound horrible, but I totally encourage you to do the best you can as an individual. But in the time that you and I have spoken in the last half hour now, there are probably factories and companies that have done more detriment to the planet landfill wise than you and I and everybody on this TikTok will ever do for our entire lives. Now, I don't say that to bum you out, but I say that to put it into perspective, that it is totally okay for you to, when it's necessary because you can't find a good home for it, or it doesn't work, or it doesn't get recycled, to get comfortable with throwing things away. Because notice here, and this is a process I want to share with all of you so you can think about this. Notice that you're in a situation. Cam 28 is stuck. I am stuck. I am stuck because what I'm trying to do is find environment-friendly homes for things, but I'm stuck. And I am stuck because I feel stuck, because I'm not taking action. I'm stuck. I feel stuck. I'm not doing something because I have a thought in my head. I don't want stuff to go to the landfill. In order for me to release the items in my home, I need to find environment-friendly homes. There's nothing wrong with that. But notice, you have a thought that makes you feel a feeling, and when you feel a feeling, you do a thing. And what you're doing is you're holding on to stuff that you know you don't want. Get creative. Make a list of environmentally friendly ways you can get rid of your stuff. But also get comfortable with the fact of the matter is, I have decluttered. I am a green person, much like the next person. But when I was decluttering my mother's house, I did 2 huge trips to the dump. I did. I had some recycles with me. I did. But other things were too gross and too nasty and old that nobody would want them. I couldn't sell them. I couldn't revive them. They weren't recyclable. They went into the trash. But the wonderful thing is that I feel good about that because it helped my mother. It helped me feel good that I was helping her. It also gave me an example to show you it's okay to throw stuff away. All right? So, yeah. All right, so LA 64367 says, I don't have a lot of storage and all the cabinets are full. Notice, again, I get processes. I freaking love a process. Think about this. 3 levels of clutter. You've got surface counters. You've got stored. I like to say this, and this is where my accent may come up. Doors and drawers are stored clutter, and you have to sort it before you store it. Wicked lot of, in that part of like the book I'm writing in my head. Notice that the reason you may have stuff on your surfaces is because when you go to, your cabinets are all full, you can't put more stuff away. Now, the stuff in your cabinets, that's where you get to practice the actual art of decluttering. It's not a science, it's an art. The creative process of decluttering. And it's a wonderful process because all you ever do is ask yourself what you want. And then when you figure out what you want and you take action, you get what you want. This is why it's kind of a life coachy thing too. That's why I got my certification in life coaching. Notice the stuff that is in your drawers, not these drawers, the ones in your cupboards. Notice the stuff that's behind doors or in drawers. And that's when you need to sort it before you store it. Seeing what you have, dumping it out on the surface. I find putting a sheet on the bed and dumping a drawer out and organizing it. And I say organizing it, but I really mean categorizing it. Here's all my lipsticks. Here's my mascaras. Here's my shampoos. How many do I use? Which ones do I not need? What do I want? Do I want this? If I want it, I keep it. If I don't want it, how can I get rid of it? Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay. I love it. Now, this is Shauna saying, I have listed so much for free recently just to get out of the house. Yeah. I have also started telling people, no, we don't need stuff that they want to give us. Yes, boundaries. Another wonderful life skill. Saying, thank you for thinking of me, but no thank you. Yeah. So notice these things you can do to stop your habits. Instead of saying yes, 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 you say, thank you, but no. Thank you so much for thinking of me, but you know what? We're really trying to declutter right now. But, oh, that was so sweet. You know? Yeah. I love it. Cat Mom is breaking the cycle after cleaning Mom's house. Yeah, I don't want you all to have to go through what you and Cat Mom and I and many other people are doing. I have a client who's digging out her mom, who kind of got hoardery at the end because they didn't reflect and see how much what they did affected other people, including themselves. You know? So change the narrative. Let's be the generation. The TikTok generation, to change the things we don't like. And we're not just changing it for ourselves, we're changing it for the other generations, for the people around us. You know? So Notice these things. I love it. Oops, a whole bunch went forward. I'm going to have to back up. I apologize. Okay, here we go. Where were we? Here's the thing. Leslie B., I'm working on Sunday. Will the paper party be available to watch later somehow? Interesting thing. How about this? I will make it available, obviously just to the people on the mailing list, as long as you promise to use it. I think being live has a certain, like there are certain things like accountability, but also it's like, oh, I can't do it live, I won't do it at all. So I will put up a link for the people who can't make it on the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, it's the only way you get the good stuff. And let me know if it works for you. It will only be up for about 30 days or something, because that also has, trust me, there's strategy behind this. You say, oh, I'll get to it someday. Someday never happens. But if it's only available between then and like July 31st, are we going to be around then? Sure, I will make a recording available, but please, I ask you this favor. Let me know if I have it doing the recording. Is it live or Memorex? If the recording helped you versus just the live. Okay, so thank you, Leslie. And notice what I did. I was saying, can I help this person with that thing? Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. Sure, I'll help it. I like being a flexible human being. There we go. Carla, oh my God, this is so funny. Carla is saying, y'all, she's from the South, I found several sheet sets at my mom's last night. One says double. What size bed is that? Now, the funny thing is you know those sheets have been around for so long. I think a double is almost like a twin and a half. It's smaller than a full. But it's before they really systematized the sizes of beds. The cool thing is you can Google that. I've done it before. I think it's like a twin and a half or twin and a quarter. Yeah. Notice these things. All sorts of things. People are giving away good ideas of places to give things away. You know? All sorts of stuff. Okay. Okay. Notice Jenny Megan is saying, that is one of the things that keeps me stuck. I want to recycle as much as I can. Cool. Recycle as much as you can. Emphasize yourself. When you go to declutter your stuff right now, walk around your house today and say, I'm going to only pick up the stuff that I know I can recycle, and start to fill your, fill your cup to the rim with brim. Fill your recycling bin until it is filled every month or week, and congratulate yourself on that, and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Do that. But then also know that there is stuff that you're probably going to need to throw away. Don't let yourself start to live in a landfill because you're struggling, you're afraid of, the stuff is already on the planet. The stuff is already on the planet. Do you want to live in a landfill? If you do, keep your house filled with stuff. If you don't, do something to get it out of your home so that you feel better for the remainder of the years you have left on the planet. Yes, I have to be okay with putting some things in the trash. And being okay means feeling okay. This is an interesting thing. This is where coaching happens. You have a thought in your head, I really need to recycle as much as I can. It gives you a certain feeling. You have a thought in your head that might be from your backseat driver. You can't throw that away. That's recyclable. You got to throw. You're going to ruin the planet if you do that. Blah, blah, blah. Shh. Quiet down that backseat driver. Allow your nervous system to breathe, and allow your co-pilot to speak up. That's me. You're the driver, but you've got a backseat driver who's fear. You've got a co-pilot who's love. It's going to be okay. You are not a bad person for throwing things away. Now, here's an interesting thing. Sometimes we judge other people. They should have recycled that. Are you judging yourself because you're not recycling? Stop judging everybody. Everybody. Just give some compassion to other people doing the best they can with what they have. You doing the best you can with what they have. But notice the change happens, my friends. Up here, when you change the words, but also the words, if you don't let them trickle down, if they just stay between your brain and your mouth, it doesn't change. You can talk a good game, but you're not doing it. The reason is because you didn't get your head you didn't get your heart involved. You didn't calm down your nervous system and really feel safe throwing things away. I have to be okay. How about I want to be okay with putting some things in the trash? How about I am okay with putting some things in the trash? I love being okay with putting some things in the trash. Notice all I'm doing is I'm changing one word in that entire sentence. One word can change your life. Instead of, I like you, Dottie, I like you, it's I love you. I hate you, I love you. One word change, big difference. Talk to yourself with love. Calm down your nervous system. Tell yourself a better story. Love yourself for what you're doing. Love yourself enough to change. And if you don't, how about this? Change yourself and you'll learn how to love yourself. Okay? Yeah, Carla, I love it. Since Carla's saying, since watching these and coaching, I have gotten rid of things in 5 weeks I never thought I would. And the cool thing is, and I remember you have told me this, I know this because Carla and I are in a one-on-one coaching package, that's what we do, is she's feeling good about the decision she made. Now, Carla, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but the thing is that feeling good about the decisions you're making makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you have a positive ripple effect. You're doing different things. You're doing better things. You're doing good stuff for your grandkids that aren't even here yet. You're doing stuff that's good for your kids, for your daughter, for your son. You're doing good things for you. You're doing good things for the people that you're saying, come and get this stuff for free. The positive ripple effect, do not underestimate it. Here, I'm going to move for a sec because I hit a button. Get the sun in my eyes there. There we go. Doting and excelling is still recycling. Other people can give a new life. Yeah. Good things. I love it when people are filling in the blanks. So all sorts of good things to of places to recycle. Donating and selling is, oh, Miss Seychelles, nice to see you, is recycling. Other people can give it a new life. Do Google searches of all the nonprofits that might be able to take the stuff you have, like crayons and Legos. Somebody else said something about shampoos and things like that. See if there's a homeless shelter or a women's shelter or something like that. I also I haven't used it, but here on TikTok, I think because the algorithm feeds me a lot of these things, there's something, I think it's called TerraCycle. I have not used them at all. But I bookmarked them to look at it because it looks like you can put in your little tubes of stuff you're not using. And they do something. Okay. Yeah. All sorts of good stuff here, people. Okay. Somebody's asking about the email list. I just saw that. DestinationDecluttered.com, all one word, website. Destination Decluttered, like here on TikTok.com. And then there's a join page that just has a place you can put in your email list. You can sign up for that. And then this Sunday, we're doing the paper party. There'll be the monthly free Zoom call that we do sometime in July, but I don't know when because I'll figure it out. And you trust me. I say I figure it out, and I do figure it out, and I share it with you. I do the things I say I'm going to do. I love it. I love it. I love being able to trust myself to do the things I say I'm going to do, and I teach you that too. All right? What else? Yes, just join the email list. Will I get a notice of the workshop this Sunday? Yes, you will. You will, I promise. And here's the thing, too, is that so here's how my life rolls. In case we haven't met before, again, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach. I am also a human on the planet who travels. Travel and being flexible with my schedule is something that I dreamt about for years, and I have made it happen. So the cool thing is you will notice that for things like when I'm doing my next TikTok lives, and when I have time, it's scheduled on my calendar for if you want to become a client of mine, you sign up for a consultation. You will notice that certain times there's a whole ton of them, and then sometimes there's a gap. And that's because I'm traveling, but also because I haven't yet sat down and then scheduled out. I schedule out things about 2 weeks in advance because I know life can change greatly in even those 2 weeks. It reminds me actually of when I used to work at Pier 1 Imports. We used to have like a 2-week schedule. And about anything further off than that is like too far off in the distance in your windshield that it's just fuzzy. So like, for example, I say this because if you sign up for the mailing list now, between today and tomorrow, because I have some free time today between coaching and stuff like that, I will be scheduling more TikTok lives for next week and the week beyond. I will also be putting more times on my calendar for if you want me to be your coach that you sign up for a consultation. The people on the mailing list find out all of this stuff before anybody else. So destinationdecluttered.com, sign up for the mailing list if that's interested to you. Okay? So I hope that helped. What do we got here? I love it. Good stuff. Local sleep pantries. There we go. Ha! I love it. Leslie B says, we must be around the same age. I get every one of your pop culture references. Awesome. Awesome. I got to share with you. So I will share. I'm 57 years old. My birthday's coming up in August. So I am elder Gen X, but I am so much more Gen X. Like, I know I am so Gen X versus the people I know that are even a couple of years older than me that are like Generation Jones. Now, I've got sisters and friends and things who are younger than me. And, We all kind of swim around in that same pool. And I remembered saying once to somebody, you know who I want to coach? I want to coach people that understand where I'm coming from, that when I crack a joke, I'm not being serious about the situation, but when you're laughing, you're learning. When you have a song to remind you of what to do, when you have an alliteration, when it's like, oh, it's just like I'm just a Bill and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. When you can laugh, it opens up your brain, it lights up and then you can more absorb the stuff that's really helpful, you know? So, yeah, and I think it's fun. And I don't want to do anything that's not fun at this stage of my life. I never did. I always found when things got boring, I rolled my eyes and opted out. If I was engaged mentally, not, engaged. But when my brain was engaged and it was interesting and I was learning something, when I had some connection, then I was more likely to do the thing. Oh my God, I don't know if anybody ever else had this on their report card. Beth would be so great at so many things if she just applied herself. Well, I applied myself to the things that I was interested in, and the things I wasn't interested in, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, okay. Boomers, everybody's here. All the generations are welcome, but I want the people who want to have fun and get it done. I want to help the people who are ready to be helped. I can't convince you. I'm like a bus driver. Somebody said this. I think of you as a driver, but when I'm in these group situations, I'm a bus driver. I say, hey, my bus is going here. This is what it's going to be like. We're going to have music playing. It's going to be fun. You're going to be asked to participate sometimes at your level of comfort. Be nice to people. This is where I'm going. If this is of interest to you, hop on the bus. If not, ring the bell and get off. I will stop the car and stop the bus, and you can get off. But we're going someplace really cool. Because when you're on the bus with me, I teach you how to get your life to go to where you want to go to. I'm kind of like a driving instructor in that way. I teach you how to do something you just currently don't know. See, Carla, I love this too. You speak my language, mi casa es su casa, and your ideas and approach totally speak right to me. Yes, thank you for letting me know that, because what that does, notice this feedback, wonderful feedback loop. I cheer you on with what you're doing well, because you are a smart person. Everybody here has a lot of good stuff going on in their lives. There's just this one part of clutter that if you knew what to do, you would also be doing well in that. You just don't know how to do it yet. That's why I show up to teach you that, because then you can rock on all areas of your life. Because clutter affects all areas of your life. It does. Your mood, your mental health, your relationships, how you spend your money, how you spend your time, your hobbies, your careers. It's not just about Cheerios in a clear box. It's about a different way of thinking about stuff and feeling about stuff and doing things. Okay? You tell me what I'm doing works, I show up more. You say, I like how you show up, I show up more myself. And then, if what I do and how I do it resonates with you, you're going to be more likely to say, yes, I want to work with that person. I want to hang out. I want to change my life with that person. I want to bring along the people who want to do it. I have no time for haters or complainers or stuff like that. If you're a little bit nervous, but nervous in a good way, if you're afraid it's not going to work, I'm here for you. I'm a freaking awesome travel coach person. Here's the great thing. If we were on a bus, I'm not going to drive the bus. I'm going to have somebody else drive it, and I'm going to be there talking to you on the microphone, okay? We're going to put on some music. I'm going to tell you where we're going. I'm going to point out some stuff, just like a Route 66 road trip. I'm like a travel guide and a driving instructor, as well as a life coach and a decluttering, because it's let's have fun, you know? Yeah. Clearing clutter opens up your brain for new activity and energy. Sienna Jade, rock on. That's so true. So awesome. Okay, yes, Dottie Hart, you brought up a really good point. I have the vision of how I want things, but it's getting started and making time that I struggle with. I deal with that all the time with myself and coaching. What I say is, if you struggle with getting started, start small. I was like, pop culture alert, but the wrong season. Put one foot in front of the other. How do you start? You start with a single step, and you start again, then you start again, you start again. And when you stop, you don't get discouraged, you get up and you start again. So start comically. Ridiculously small. What's one thing you could move today into a place that it's supposed to be? What's one thing today you could put in a thing? And here's the wonderful thing. Once you get started, then it's like warming up your engine. You're like, oh, well, I'm kind of already doing it anyway. What else can I put in this Goodwill bag? What else can I put in this thing on this free table? What other book that I don't want to read I'm going to put in this little free library? Okay? Notice these things. Cindy is reading a lot about decluttering. I just need to be accountable one-on-one sometimes. I've realized, yes, use these TikTok lives as your accountability. State what you want to do and then show up the next day and do it. External accountability. Notice what works for you and notice what doesn't. I know for me to move my body, to do certain things, it's better for me to pay for a yoga class and make the appointment and show up and spend the money, because left to my own devices, like the Pet Shop Boys might say, I probably won't. I may not. Some things come easy to me. Other things, it makes sense for me to pay somebody to be the accountability. And if I'm paying money, I'm more likely to show up. I just offer that from my own life. I love this. Shauna is saying, my mom was like, I am impressed with how much you got done in a 2-hour period. Yeah. Yeah, be proud of yourself. But also notice, people are noticing. People are noticing and observing. That's a lot of how we got to be cluttered. We noticed and observed how other people lived, how they did things, that they left things in a pile on the counter for months, that they didn't go through their mail, that they avoided things and said, I'll get to it later. I just can't even. I want you to feel like I just can even, and you start to do it. And you realize it's not as scary as you think it will be. Okay? Dottie also, getting started small, making the time. See this right here? This is how I make time. I sit down with a pen and a 50-cent notebook, and I map out my days. I map out. I've got a TikTok live from 12 to 1. Then I have a break. Then I have a consultation from 1:30 to 2:30. Then I have a break. Then I have some coaching from 4 to 5. Then I have a break. Then I'm going to go see my friend spin records. I guess I'm going to listen to him spin records. And then tomorrow, I can teach you this system. I do. You have time in your life. Certain things you do have to spend time on, but other times you have things, and that's when you have a choice of when you spend your time. It's fun. I get so much more done now that I want to and I have to, and it feels effortless. It feels fun because I also allow myself to recuperate. Now, I've done a wicked lot of traveling, and this morning I was laying in bed scrolling on TikTok for a couple hours before I got up because I was like, I want to rest. I need a break. But then I get up and I do stuff. You know? Yep, good stuff. Good stuff, people. I love this. So Carla is saying, on Wednesday, that's when we coach, I pull up, say, Beth gets in, let's roll. We crank the radio and we head to the dump. Born to be wild. You know, and it's even better than Thelma and Louise because we're not jumping off a cliff, people. No, because you know what? Then I get out of the car. I'm like, you good? She's like, I am rocking. I'm like, you are rocking, lady. You just keep on doing what you're doing. You're making progress. You send me those postcards from the trip. You send me pictures of what you're doing. I'm cheering you on. I'm like, go, go, go. Yes, this is good. When you say you're tired, I'm like, no big deal. Pull over and take a rest. Let's keep on going, and you're making a difference. It's so much fun. And I've gone on road trips for years, regular road trips. So I know how to do that. And I know it's time to do things. And I don't do it unsustainable. And it's not a machine. I'm going to do it for 20 minutes every day. If that works for you, that's great. But if it's 18 minutes one day, that's great. If it's 10 minutes the other day, that's great. If it's 0 for a day, get curious why it's 0. Notice why it's 0. And do better the next moment you can. Yeah. I love it. Daisy Dogs is saying, I live in an apartment and I make it a project to do one thing in each room a day, no matter what it is. Every little bit helps. Okay? Daisy Dog says, when I do it that way, I don't get behind in another room. Yeah. You kind of float around. I like to call it, when you get to a certain point, I do what I call a putter and declutter. I will just bop from room to room, just putting stuff away. It's very easy because my surfaces are not that cluttered like they used to be. We have friends that are going to be staying with us next week for like 3 or 4 days. I said to my husband, yeah, we got a few things to do before they come, but it's actually what we're doing is we're using their arrival as just a bit of a kick in the pants to do things that we know we should do anyway. Like I noticed there's some dust on the floor. We got to see if the air mattress works. We're going to probably buy another umbrella out here. Things like that. Yeah. Okay, I was raised by my dad, so things were everywhere. Interesting. I was raised by my mother and my father, and things were everywhere. You know? Notice the things that work for you. Noticing is a verb. Noticing is part of this process. Just get curious about how you got to where you are on this map. Congratulate yourself on all the awesome things you have done. Have love for yourself right now and for all the other previous iterations of you that just was doing the best you could with the skills you had. But now, here's a great thing. Now you know that there's a process, that there's a way to do something different. You just need to learn it. And when you learn a new thing, you have it with you for the rest of your life. Again, this is where I think of learning how to drive a car. It's something you weren't born with. Boy, would it change your life if you knew how to do it. So what you do, you get afraid, you get behind the wheel, you're like, whoa, this is kind of scary, but I'm going to learn it. And then you practice, and you get better, and it opens up your life like the funnel that one of my teachers in 6th grade talked about, like, oh, if you do all this stuff and then you funnel it down, it opens up your world. It changes your life to declutter. But don't let that overwhelm you. Let's start small. Let's start with decluttering a room in your home, a surface at a time, a thing at a time, a bag at a time, a decision. What you do is you develop your decision-making muscles, and always you're deciding, what do I want to happen? And you make that stuff happen, and it's easy and fun. This is what I do. This is what I do. Yes, taking time to congratulate yourself is important. Yeah, it's always funny. We always want to like go, well, this is what I did, and this was good stuff. Yeah, but here, let me get to the bad stuff. Oh my God, we'll totally talk about the bad stuff, but practice, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, accentuating the positive. That's why I have my people and myself. I write down the good stuff. I have a book filled with good stuff that I started 2 years ago. Every time I write it down, I get a dopamine hit. Look at what I did. What else can I do? Today, what can I do? Every little bit helps. Yeah. Huh? This Karen says, putting things away can be hard. But no one ever leaves the ice cream on the counter, right? Because if it's important for you to that ice cream not to melt, you're going to do it. So what's going to make it important to you? What's going to light that fire in you that makes you want to get up and start doing the decluttering? How about this? I always think death is a motivator. I'm going to be dead soon. I want to live, live, live before I die, die, die. I want to enjoy the time I have left on this planet, and I don't want to spend a lot of time decluttering. I want to work on it, focus it, change my habits, get it done, and then just live a life of ease. Puttering and decluttering is all I need to do. I can leave for weeks on end, and I come home, and my house is decluttered. It stays that way. What's going to light the fire under you? I can suggest some things, but really it's like you listening to yourself is like, what's going to have me buy into it? What's going to make me pay attention and be engaged? Beth would only be so good if she only applied herself. What's going to make you apply yourself to this? Now, I say this as encouragement because there's going to be something that's going to touch you. I know for some people, it's like, I don't want that to happen to me. I want to live the rest of my life somewhere different. And I want to break the chain. I want to break this cycle for other people. I don't want to leave a mess for other people. That could be it. I also am very I want to have the fun. So I don't want to be spending my Saturdays cleaning out the garage when I could spend my Saturdays at my friend's pool. And how about this even? Sarah Garrison is saying, 617, area code 617? Boston area, I know that. I'm amazed at how much better I feel when I declutter and get rid of stuff. Stuff is a heavy burden. Ooh, the sun just came out. Yes. How about this? I want to feel better than I do now. Feeling better is why I show up to do the coaching. I really don't care what your house looks like. If you honestly feel good in it and you feel good and your life is living, I don't judge you. No. But if you're not feeling good in your home because of clutter, I can help you with that. There is help out there. There is a process and a method and a system and accountability and fun. It can be not as bad or as scary as you think. Yeah, Ms. Seashell and Leslie B. don't want to leave a mess for your kids? Okay, learn how to declutter and then teach them. Teach your children well. Remember that song? Teach them what you're learning so they can do it for their kids, and so on and so on. Yes, okay, beautiful life. I say all the things in my head, but here I sit. Here I sit, brokenhearted, paid a dime and only farted. Yeah, that's when we say, okay, in my family, I'm going to use a potty mouth word, people. Alert if this will offend your sensibilities. Shit or get off the pot. How about shit and get off the pot? Because who wants to stay on the pot for too long? What's going to get you to get up off of your butt and stand up and put your hand on something and do it? I never know if I'm encouraging people or they feel like they're yelling at you. I just know because I'm telling you, I used to be there being like, well, I guess this is just how it is. Maybe another life. I was able to change, and my life fucking rocks now, people. But it also is time for me to sign off. I see it's 1:01. I could go on for forever. Okay? So listen to yourself, and all these things, let them swirl around in your head today. Your mind has been opened, and see what sticks, what resonates. Pay attention to what is the words that are coming from here. Calm down the external, listen to it, and then take some action, no matter how small. Okay? There we go. Ms. Lopez says, you encouraged me to get all my mom's stuff out of my house. I love it. Okay? Now, tomorrow I'm doing a TikTok live, 8 a.m. Eastern. Then the rest of them, I have no idea. I have to figure that out, okay? You got this. You already learned everything you need to know on this call. I hide nothing. But if you want to know how it directly applies to you, consider me becoming your coach, okay? You got this. You are no dumb bunny. You can do things. You can learn stuff. It is not too late. If you want to change, I can help you, okay? I gotta go.